You know that feeling when you stare at a lineup of high-priced massage chairs online, and a tiny voice in the back of your head keeps asking, what if I spend $1,000 and it ends up gathering dust? It's a legitimate worry. These things aren't cheap, and the wrong model can feel more like a pricey footstool than a real stress relief tool. I've been there, scrolling through specs, trying to separate the hype from the features that actually make a difference in everyday life. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's unpack the Human Touch WholeBody 5.1 and see whether it lives up to the promise of a full-body spa session in your living room, or if you'd be better off putting that money toward a series of professional massages instead. First off, the WholeBody isn't trying to be a gimmick. It's built around Human Touch's 3D FlexGlide technology, which basically means the rollers can move in 3 dimensions rather than just sliding back and forth. In practice, that translates to a more lifelike kneading motion on your back, shoulders, and hips, areas where most of us store tension after a long day at a desk. The chair also adds a swivel base that can rotate up to 55 degrees, so you can pivot without getting up. If you've ever tried a massage chair that forces you to scoot forward or backward to reach a spot, you'll appreciate that little bit of freedom. Now, who actually benefits from a machine like this? Think about anyone who deals with chronic lower back soreness, tight calves from running, or neck stiffness from staring at a screen. The WholeBody comes with a retractable foot and calf massager that rolls up when you're not using it, freeing up floor space and keeping the aesthetic of a regular recliner. If you're a remote worker who spends 8 or more hours at a desk, that calf stretch can be a game changer. Similarly, athletes who need regular muscle recovery between workouts will find the targeted glide massage useful for loosening tight muscle fibers without having to book a therapist every week. On the other side, if you're looking for a high-intensity deep tissue experience that mimics a therapist's elbow pressure, you might feel a bit underwhelmed. The WholeBody uses 3 stationary massage techniques: tap, knead, and a gentle glide rather than a full suite of programmable programs. For most users that's perfectly adequate, but powerlifters or people with very dense muscle tissue sometimes report that the intensity caps out before they reach the level of painful good. If you've already tried a massage chair that lets you crank the pressure up to 11 and you like that, this model may feel a shade lighter. One of the biggest practical concerns with any big footprint chair is how it fits into a living space. The WholeBody's dimensions are comparable to a standard recliner, but you have to account for the swivel base and the footrest extension. In a narrow hallway or a cramped apartment, you'll need at least a 2-foot clearance on each side to let the base rotate without bumping into walls. The good news is the foot and calf massager folds neatly under the seat when you're not using it, so you can push the chair back against the wall without worrying about a protruding mechanism. If space is a premium for you, measure twice before you order. Noise is another factor that trips up first-time owners. Some lower-priced models were loudly enough to drown out a TV show. The Human Touch system is surprisingly quiet. The rollers glide on a rubberized track that dampens vibration, and the motor hum stays well under 60 decibels, about the same level as a quiet conversation. In a real-world test, I could run the chair's full-body program while the kids were doing homework in the next room and they never complained. If you're sensitive to sound, that quiet operation is worth the extra dollars. Let's talk durability and day-to-day comfort. The upholstery is a soft-touch black leather that feels supple but not overly warm, which is helpful if you live in a climate that swings between hot summers and chilly winters. The seat cushions use high-density foam that holds its shape after months of daily use. I've left the chair in a semi-reclined position for a few evenings while I binge-watched a series, and it didn't develop any sagging or uneven wear. That said, the chair's weight around 300 pounds means you'll need a sturdy floor. Carpet over thin plywood can flex under the load, potentially causing the swivel mechanism to feel a bit loose over time. If you're on a second-floor balcony or a floating floor, double-check the structural support before you commit. Now, a quick look at the control layout. There's a handheld remote with a simple menu. You can select full body, back, neck, foot/calf, or custom. The interface is intuitive. You don't have to scroll through endless screens to find the program you want. However, there isn't a dedicated smartphone app, which some newer chairs offer for scheduling sessions or syncing with smart home assistants.